2 live.
You're now watching two old farts making noises.
Hey, we're here with our
Hello,
favorite person.
hello.
Good
How are you
afternoon,
doing?
Adam.
Good
Good
Yeah,
afternoon
afternoon.
we're
to you
good.
too,
We're
guys.
good.
Good
We're
afternoon to
good.
everybody.
Yeah.
So, how are you doing?
Very good. How
How
are
was
you?
your 2 weeks? Yeah, I'm pretty busy like always, but I'm happy. Summer is coming along. It's better weather. We start swimming on the sea. Good
Yeah.
stuff is
Now I'm
coming.
I'm jealous. He's swimming on the sea. When I lived in Palm Beach, we would swim in the
I
ocean. Now
can
I live
swim
in Texas.
actually on the sea, on a river, on a lake. I have everything here
Very
around.
nice. Yeah. We don't have that
It's
here in Austin. We have like a lake, and that's it.
Yeah.
and you swim there.
No, I wouldn't
People
swim in the
swim there.
lake.
Ah, so
Yeah, they
you
do. I wouldn't swim. I go to the pool. I'll go to the pool.
Yeah, you have to go. Oh, we have pools also
Okay, guys,
because it's a touristic place here. So we have also, hotels, and you can go there for a beer. Or
Oh,
when are you
nice.
coming?
Well, listen, my wife said to me, she wants. I've been to Greece, and she wants to go to Greece, and I was like, let's go. So I said, I got a buddy. He's like says, come and visit, and so I'm waiting for her to say when we're going. So at some point, I may call you up and go, hey, we're on our way to Greece. Then we'll do the show with Adam and I in one room, and then David, if you're in Greece with us, you'll be in.
We can be here together, three
Yeah,
of
you
us.
should come. Yeah, there you go. The three of
Yeah,
us
that
will
would be
do a
good.
show in the same room.
That would be
Yeah, that'd
good.
be
That would be
nice.
good.
That'll be
There'll be
interesting.
there'll be an upgrade because you were talking about upgrades, Adam,
Yes,
before we
because
came on.
I'm,
So
serving digital art, and digital art is based on computers actually, and
Right.
software and stuff like this. For example, I'm using it depends. Every artist is using different kind of software. I'm using Autodesk 3ds Max from more than 20 years now. When there are many programs now, right, on the market, but I'm used to it, and it's one of the oldest, and it's really pretty nice program. It's heavy. It's got so many features, and there each year it's the new update is coming, and I have updated actually the hardware also, which is pretty important for us.
Right.
And I didn't do it for many years, like 5 years, maybe more. And I see big difference now, on my renderings and stuff. That means that it's 300% faster,
yeah.
So because we do also simulations, we do smoke simulations, sometimes we do water, liquid simulations. You always wait for those. It's a There's a lot of computational need for them, so you have to wait. But when you have faster computer, everything is faster. I can have like four heavy programs open, and all they can do something. It's incredible how the processors are doing things now.
It's like
Well,
Moore's
there's
law, right? Everything just doubles up.
yeah, but on the downside, of course, no more drinking coffee between rendering, eh?
Well,
So
no. When you know that you have faster computer, you put more stuff into it.
yeah,
Just to very important aspect of our job, at least in my, it's experimenting. I experiment a lot before my works. I experiment a lot, and the more information you give, then you have more detail, you have more diversity in the movement when you're doing animation. There's a lot of things. There are some materials are more difficult to render than others, because if you put more realistic stuff, like for example glass, if you have a blurred glass, it's more hard to render. It takes more time, more computational time. And if you have something behind the glass that is blurred, so when you look at it, there's something that is getting blurry when it's going further. So the closer to the glass, it's more defined, and then it's going blurred. This takes a lot of time to compute. Also, if there is animation, if you have a combination of stuff which are heavy, there you go, and you still wait. But
Yeah.
it's
So
okay.
Adam,
Yeah.
do you have a vision of what you want to produce in your head then before you start?
Sometimes I have, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to create something. I feel the need to create.
Yeah.
But more or less, those things that we are talking, those are the philosophical stuff that we are talking. This is my inspiration, let's say. So I can, because every day I'm thinking about those things, those issues. And with art, the art for me is a tool to take those ideas and represent it in a specific way. So you're still thinking about them, you're still processing them, the ideas, I mean, but you're processing them through the lens of art. So I
Yeah.
told you, I think the first time that it's interesting that when you speak with an artist, the first question to ask, and you will understand many things. First question to ask him, her is what is art to him and why he's doing art.
Mm.
It's really important because not everybody is doing art for for the same reason. And now with the advent of AI art, it's even more complicated because I have tried it, and pretty soon I've already some days ago I tried also to do a video with mine video from 3D to make it like a filter through AI, because the AI has very impressive stuff when it makes morphing one thing to the other, the background, and if you put the prompts. So I tried this, and didn't work very well, but it was my first attempt. So we'll see. It's of course, there's no way that I'm not going to use it. There's no way that
Mm.
you can stay away from it. You have to. It's another tool to experiment with. But I still believe, and I'm pretty sure about it, that it's killing art. It's going to, at least one big part of art is going to be killed. For
Why do
example,
you?
I was talking with some French artists. They are complaining that sales have gone down, and I think this is the reason, because like 6 months ago, there was like X number of artists. Now it's 10 times more. And if you go, because we sell our works through the social medias, from Instagram, from Facebook, from Twitter. Now the hashtags of art, if you put them, 90% is AI.
Well, what's
Yeah.
Everybody,
interesting though,
yeah,
what's interesting is that my wife actually and her friends were goofing around with an AI art program the other day, and they created a magnificent dragon.
oh,
Like they wrote like, we want to see boom 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 boom, and this is the concept. And 3 minutes later, they said, "Look what we just did," and it was this mag. I was like, "Wow!" I mean, it looked like somebody spent years painting this
yeah.
thing. So I understand your
If you
point.
would show this design to a guy back to the past, like we were
Right,
talking
right,
about time last time, like 1 year ago, 1 year ago, not
right,
longer, they would be crazy. They wouldn't believe that it's computer generated.
right.
They wouldn't
Well,
believe it.
David's generated some stuff
Yeah.
for us at Two Old Farts as a joke, and it comes up with some weird stuff. Because I'm like, he goes, "Give me something." I'm like, "I don't know, scotch and cigars and two old guys," and it's like, or supercars. Excuse me. And it comes up with crazy stuff, but it looks like, and I mean this tongue in cheek to an extent. If like we use ChatGPT 4, right? Not
Yes.
3.5. We upgraded.
Oh,
What
really?
I've
You
learned,
see a big difference?
I do. When
Yeah.
I'll actually
In his wallet,
chat
he feels it in his wallet, I
in
think.
my wallet. But no. If I ask ChatGPT 3.5 to write something, and I ask the same question to 4, the the thought that it's put in, the way it comes out is much better. So we upgraded to 4, so we use 4 quite a bit. But what I thought was interesting is, what I'm learning with it is, if you have to tell it to do the right thing. So if I say, write a description of this, then after it writes the first description, I go, that's great. Now write this description more towards an audience of, say, 25 to 55 male, or 25 to 55 female, and it will start doing it. And then I'll go, what's a good
Yeah, yeah.
title? And it'll say, this is the title. So we use it now for the last week and a half, 2 weeks on the show. So instead of me going, we talked about, I say to ChatGPT 4, we talked about the following. make a description. And it writes like 3 or 4 beautiful paragraphs. It's very succinct, gives us a title, gives us our SEOs, and gives us all our hashtags, and we put in some extras, and it's great. So
Yeah.
to one extent, it's good. I do feel bad for the generation that's coming up that won't know art, if you will, the way we got to know art. Like, when I was a
Well,
kid, you would see an artist paint.
the really good thing going forward, Steve, is that we're doing away with marketing departments. Hooray! All the
Now
ones
you're in
that
the
sort of
marketing
just
department.
all
Somebody
the
just
ones
lost his job.
Yeah, right. Well, there's the Goldman Sachs has a report that came out about a month ago that said that by 2030, 80% of these jobs are gone. So
Yeah.
really, and I think the job of the future is going to be the people that know how to talk to the AI when you ask it, when you can type and ask a question.
Yeah, I think it's sort of a mixture of what Adam was saying and what you were saying about the text, Stephen, is that you still have to have that spark in your brain. You
Right.
still have to have that something, because everybody can make gravy to put on the dinner, but there's
Right.
only a very few really good cooks when you eat it and it goes wow. And and that's with Adam as well, because no doubt Adam's been philosophizing about something today. If that's an English word, probably not.
Yeah.
But he's been thinking about something today, and that has inspired him to do something, to produce something, some form of art. So, yeah, all those guys that were sitting there with easels that could just paint a bridge or or a donkey or whatever. Yeah, they're going to lose out. But the really creative people like yourself, Adam, who
Well,
are
you know
almost
something. The problem
obsessed
is
to
that
create.
we are already lost inside the such a big number of people believing that they are doing art, but they are,
Right.
in a way, they are doing art. So they wouldn't
Yeah,
do it
I
one
think
year ago
I think
because
they
they didn't
are.
have the skills to create this kind of work, this kind of
I
impressive
think we
work.
have. I think we have to be honest. I mean, and saying that because if it doesn't exist and it comes out of somebody's mind, and they found an artistic way to describe it or to manipulate it on a computer. Isn't that what the old masters were doing anyway? Painting 3 or 4 different versions on the same canvas.
Yeah, but wouldn't that
It's
mean
just
that
like
anybody
it's
could be an
just,
artist?
Yes, but you know something. The
yeah, but
difference is that
everybody
the
can be an
old
artist,
master.
Stephen. But, I mean, I could sit and paint something and it would make me an artist, but it
Well, no,
wouldn't
not
make
like.
me a good artist. I think that's the fundamental difference.
But my
Yeah, but
question.
what defines good or not? This
Right.
is the problem. And also
Yeah.
another problem is that the old master could not do 100 of pieces a day.
Right.
And now a guy who has never touched any brush or 3D or anything, or not school anything, now can produce 100 pretty impressive images in one day.
Right.
Is
He
But
that
can
a
do
that.
problem?
more.
But is
But
that a
This
wait.
is the
problem,
problem.
Adam?
It is a problem. It is a problem for us
For
because we are
artists.
lost suddenly into the ocean of generated images.
Right.
Okay, you will stand out somehow, but you might probably not also. It's what Warhol was saying, that everybody is going to be famous in the
15
future.
Yeah,
Everybody's
minutes.
going to do
15.
15 minutes. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
this is the thing. But it's going to be only 15 minutes. I believe that most of the artists that you know now, probably me also included in this, we will not be in 1 decade if we don't evolve somehow.
Right.
And evolve. I mean, it's not enough to evolve with your standards as an artist. You have to evolve with the standards of the society as what believes that it is art. That's why when I'm saying that it's killing big part of art, I'm not saying that it's destroying totally. I'm saying it's redefining it. We have to redefine it, what it really
Yeah.
means to be an artist. That means that creating an art, for me, or at least as I say it to the future, creating an artwork is not enough. You have to speak about it. You have to be, and this is good in a way because, for example, an artist, it's a role. It's not only
Right.
a role about creating artwork. That's why I tell you that ask other artists why they are doing art and what is art for them. You'll understand a lot of things, and soon, I believe that the artwork itself won't be enough because everybody will be creating perfect artworks.
But I think the
Yeah,
artist
but
that actually used AI before it was fashionable, when there was no AI, was Salvador Dali. Because if you look at his stuff, that all looks like some computer was high with him and developing art. But it's a style, and that's what you can
but
tell an
is
AI to do, right? Right? Do it as a Salvador Dali piece, or do
yeah,
it as a
yeah.
whoever piece. So I think to that point, the art that's going to be AI generated is going to lose its personality, or lack of a better term, soul, right? Because we talked about this once before. When I buy a piece of art, or even Adam's art that he sent to us, like there's Adam's soul in that because he spent the time to do and boom, 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 like to develop it. But if I'm getting something generated by AI, what am I? I'm getting no soul. It's just a pretty, like the
Yeah,
dragon
but
thing. It's very
Well,
pretty.
that's
surely
you and
this
maybe a few
argument.
others, but most of the people, most of the population, they don't have such criteria. Actually, they just
Yeah.
see
But
an
surely
image and say,
this
"Oh, I
is the
like it or not."
Yeah.
this is the same argument as
Right.
as came about when musicians said, "Oh, nobody will be able to ever to play any instrument anymore because it can all be done on computers." And it is all done on computers, and you can make your album at home. You never
Right.
have to pick up an instrument in all your life. And what happens? Only the best come to the top. And it'll be
Correct.
the same with this as well. Lots of, it's just a pruning of the trees, guys.
Yeah, but
Adam
the
will
problem here,
survive.
you know something, the big problem here now is the quantity. The
Right.
quantity changes everything because
Yeah, but Adam, it's
the
also the
hashtags on the
quantity of,
internet now are AI dominated. The
yeah,
hashtag
but
art now is AI
it's,
dominated. Six
but
months
it's the
ago
same
it
with,
started.
it's the same with music. It's the same with music.
There is AI
There are
generated music
trillions
as
of
well.
tracks because it's all produced by a computer, and still we have our stars. Still we
But
have people who have that, the awful word. Let's use it, the X factor, and your art has that, and people saw that, and they will follow you through your journey because you've
but
already proved that
yes, but
that
Yeah,
you
just
but
can
like
it's
produce
but
something
it's
different.
but
changing everything.
Spotify,
It's changing the prices. It's changing
right?
everything.
Yeah,
It's a complicated matter, and I don't see. It's still evolving. I try to see it because it's my work.
Right.
I try to see it, and it's not only about me. And I'm a famous artist. Let's
Right.
take somebody who's starting now. It's
Yeah.
what to do. I mean,
Well,
if you get somewhere to a gallery or a platform that it's promoting very well, okay,
right.
but still there are so many artists now that and art that is produced that we cannot consume it. We don't have the time to consume. We just like on the telephone we just
Right.
look at the art like this on the Insta. That's the just a touch, just a look for 1 second. That's it.
Right. But also two things. One, Spotify now is kicking off all, if you will, AI type music, right? They said no more. They took out, I think I read an article in the Financial Times, like 1 million songs because it was generated by AI computers, not real musicians. So that's the A. The B part to this is if I'm an art gallery and I've got a 16-year-old or a 10-year-old at home, do I really want to, like, I can literally have Johnny make me an AI thing, right? Once Johnny figures it out, and I can put it up there and it's all profit because Johnny's my kid. He's not
yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
So I feel bad for, if you will, the Adams of the world, but then you get collectors like me. I want Adams' work. I want this one's work. I want that one's work. Like I
Yeah,
want
but
to go and get
you
the
you know
work,
you know something. I believe that if we met a year later, you wouldn't
right?
find me anymore because my work will be lost. That's what I'm trying to tell. My
Right.
my
No, I
work will be
understand.
lost. I'll tell you another something. I read that. I don't remember the names, but doesn't matter anyway. Is a photographer. He had an interview because he switched from photography into AI generated photography. Let's say
Right.
just about in February. And I take a look at his works before February. He got 800 likes, something like that. After a few months with the AI work, he's got like 10,000.
Wow.
You understand what is going
Yeah.
on, and each post it's not one image anymore; it's 10 because it
Right.
produces a hell of a number of
Right.
outcomes, of
Yeah.
artistic outcomes. And still I tell you, this is just the very beginning.
Right.
This is just
We
the
have
very
a
beginning.
we have a gallery in Amsterdam, which is solely AI generated art, produced by AI generated artists who
Yeah.
have their own personality
Huh.
and their own style.
Yeah.
And it's
See,
You know,
it's
it's
a
just
trend also. It's a trend and it's fashion, but it will evolve more and more and more and
right,
more. It's and I was also reading how many in the area of photography. There are those photographers, professional photographers, who go in the wild. They
right,
wait for the bird, to catch the I don't know, a fish or something to get this, and then they're waiting for hours. This is being killed right now with the AI because you put it on the prompt.
right,
A hawk is catching a fish from the
right.
river, all this description that you put on the prompts, and it's creating pretty realistic image of that thing. And then
Hmm.
you can
yeah,
evolve it until you get
but
to
who
the
is
image that you like, and it's okay.
but Adam, who is that bad for? It's bad for the photographer, but the editor doesn't have to pay travel costs. He could
It's
Yeah.
what
whatever he asks,
oh,
he can get. He can put it. His costs. I mean, there's from every photographer or artist that loses, a few shekels on the journey. Somebody else is making even more money because of the convenience of it all. I mean, you've got
But
this thing
just the
happening in the US and now about these script writers who are saying, you have to tell anybody if it's been written by an AI. They're all going on strike. They want more money. They're scared to death that they never. But that little bit of extra, that X factor, you can tell it. You can see it. You can see the difference.
well, you can see it now. You won't see it in six
in the
months.
future. Yeah, but the other problem with
You
all
won't
this
see it.
is
I'm not. I cannot imagine even in 5 years, which 5 years
right.
is not far. But I tell you, what you see now, in 6 months you will not see it.
But
I'm
here's the
pretty
other
sure
thing.
about it because I follow it all the time.
Yeah.
And you know something? What is happening? The people are, and this is philosophical also, because you cannot take philosophy out of the question of anything,
Right.
especially art. Uh, it's a problem of breaking the balance. When everything's becoming AI, like photographers doing AI, 3D artists doing AI, I see painters going out of painting and going AI.
Right.
Later, maybe they will find a way of mixing them somehow because people now are trying, because they are seeing this crazy thing coming, they're trying to find their own way to generate something that's unique. Whatever unique you create, it will be for a while.
Mhm. But the other problem
It's
is
like
that we're not living in
this.
reality. We're not going to live in reality anymore. We're living in a make
The
believe world. So
reality is
that's the problem,
changing.
David.
No.
Yeah.
We are living. There's always kind of reality. We don't know what
Yeah,
reality
but
is anyway. We cannot define it.
Right.
But
talking
the reality
about
is
AI
changing a lot.
art,
Yeah.
Adam,
No, no. Photography, though.
Adam's been producing AI art before anybody knew it was AI art.
I mean,
It was
It is
digital
produced
art.
AI
by
art in a way, but
Right.
it's
it was,
okay.
well,
I have
it came out of your head. It didn't come out of your hand on a brush. I mean, are you feeling that? Are you feel? I'm not, but I mean, I'm trying to be rude, but are you feeling that? The hot breath of competition on your neck? Is that is or are you genuinely concerned about the old-fashioned artist who goes out there with the easel and
no.
paints all this stuff?
What I'm besides the AI in general, I'm talking about AI in art. The AI artist is making, first of all, everybody is becoming an artist. Everybody.
Yeah.
It's if you know how to use those stuff, which by time it will become more and more easy to access to anybody.
But may I just ask you, Adam, is that a good or a bad thing in your opinion?
Well, it certainly is bad for us, for the professional artists already that are professional, because up to now, you had to have some skills,
Right.
and those skills for 3D, for example, you don't gain it in 1 month. You gain it by years.
Right.
Also in painting, in sculpture, in everything. You gain it by years. It's not that easy, to get the skills. I'm talking now. I'm not talking if your artwork has a meaning, something like this. Just the skills to create something, and that prevented most of the people to become an artist and to say that they are artists. because okay, you are artist, show me your work.
Right.
And they couldn't show you something complicated and that you could see that you need skills to create, but now with the AI, with those very impressive images, it looks like most of the people don't know yet that it is AI. The things that you need skills to create it. There are millions of pictures generated through AI that they're cheating and saying sculpture. And
Right.
even people who do 3D bite this. I saw a friend of mine sharing an image of a girl like making a sculpture like out of sand, but too detailed, and it was obvious from the hands, but in general that was AI. And he was saying wow, because he thought it was a girl creating a photo of a girl creating a very complex detailed sculpture, but it wasn't. you know
Okay.
it's a fake thing in general. This society now is investing on fakeness, or is there a word like this, fakeness?
But it's the
On
reality. Once
fake.
again, it goes back to the physical world, which is what I'm talking about, reality. Like, I don't want to watch golf on TV. I want to go play golf, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch AI art. It's very cool. My wife and her friend, they developed the draft. It's beautiful. But would I hang it in the house? Probably not. I mean, like, I
Yeah, but
want
we're not.
something that comes, I want the reality of it. I don't want the
But
computer to keep doing everything.
the AI art is producing new reality. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Soon it will be accepted by everybody. It'll be like
Yeah.
everyday thing, and not
Well, it's no
only
Yeah.
with
different
the
than,
AI art, with AI
right.
everything.
But it'll be
Well,
no different than
it,
an NFT. Christie's and Sotheby's will start selling AI art.
Yeah, yeah.
And once it
From
starts selling AI art, then the whole art community is going to be like, so what's worth more then? The
the
Van
AI is
Gogh
selling AI
or
art
a
now
or right.
already.
But my point is, so then what's going to be worth more now in 5 years, the Van Gogh or the AI? You know what I'm saying?
It's no, it doesn't go this way. It doesn't go this way. What will be worth if you're a famous person? If you're a
Okay.
famous person, whatever you do, any kind of art that you produce, it's going to cost because you're a famous
Gotcha.
person. It comes from you.
Gotcha.
So now you see that I already see this, that people want engagement in the social to become famous.
Right, right.
Up to now, I tell you that my issue with this thing is that up to now we had some rules which were changing, okay, also, but now the rules are exploding suddenly. That's the problem. Suddenly we have a flood of images, and then saying what is good, what is not, is really really subject, because it's already changing the reality of what art, of what you're looking at, and is art or not art. Everything
Right.
is art. It's actually, and those guys there are more AI artists now that they are digital artists in general. Of course, this is digital also.
Right.
They are considered now digital artists, but the advent of the AI art is so-called, because I say so-called because that's what I tell you, that now it will not be enough to create image. You have to support it somehow. You have to, it's a new role that it's taking place. The artist taking new role. Actually, the artist had this role, I believe,
Right.
that artist is not only the designer of a project, of aesthetics, or an image of a sculpture. It's also a producer of ideas. It's kind of philosopher. It's like a visual philosopher,
Okay.
or something like that. I don't know, because
yeah. But I think that that's the same as the musicians, Adam. I think that special something that's always going to bubble to the top. This is just a phase. And if you think about it, everybody wants art, but they can't afford to buy it. Now you've got digital art. You can have it on your phone. You can have it on your on your computer. You can print it out. You can put it on the wall in your house. You've got fantastic art and photographs which you would never have access to before. And and the only people who has the Van Gogh are the people who are mega rich. And what do they do with it? They put it in a cellar, in a bunker somewhere, so that nobody will come and steal it. So, you know, yeah,
I don't
that's
know. We have
that's the
ours
other
on the
side
wall
of it.
but
in a
anyway,
bunker.
coming back to it, what I believe that an artist is actually, but okay, artist has to support also himself as with
Right.
meaning of life, living, money, and etc. We don't need to be rich. But we need to, for example, I don't need to be rich, but I really need to continue to produce my work because it's a tool for me to express and help me understand reality and the deeper questions that we have. And this is my role to present to you and to myself also. Yes, first of all, to myself. Yes, because I am the first viewer of my work. And then later to the people, my point of view. And when we, this is for me art, the representation of reality, of an idea, of something through my head and through my tool of art to the others. That's why how we communicate. That's why we share things. That's how we find each other.
Right.
Well,
And
maybe we're going to go a little bit like we were trying to do with the NFTs. You know, the NFT we wanted
the
to.
NFTs is just the market. It's
No, but
just
the
the market.
NFT we originally started. Stephen and I were always linking our NFTs to a piece of physical art because we felt that was really
Yep.
important. You know, because in let's say in Asia, for instance, that image is social currency, and in the West, the physical painting is social currency. It may be that your personality and your thoughts about that AI art
Right.
is the extra that makes your art extra. No, because
Well,
if
there
I
has to
call
be
if I
to
call you out
distinguish
on it,
yourself from
yeah,
the majority of
but
this. You have to create. But what I'm trying to tell you, it will be more and more hard, and it will be very hard to stay at the top. That
Right.
will be impossible. We will be just it will like physics popping up, subatomic particles will be popping out
Right.
artists for a while and then gone like
But here's
that
a
the thing
here's a
is,
for a few
question.
Adam,
minutes.
thing is,
But
Adam,
here's a
if I
question,
call
David.
you out on your sorry, Stephen, if I call you
Okay.
out on your art, you're going to tell me all about it.
Right.
You're going to tell me where it came from. The brain fart that you had that set you off in the first place. Onto this journey, and then the frustration that it gave you, and how that
Well, this
manifests
is
itself
you can say
into your work.
you can say whatever you want. You're an artist, I accept. You can say whatever you can put the
But
AI to
is
ChatGPT
anybody going
for
to be?
good to give you a
Is any going
description
to
of
be
your
out?
art.
Yeah, but the description is different than being able to communicate in the way that you do. And like I
Oh,
say, and
as you say, it's becoming so good that
Hmm.
it's not going to be a description. You can ask him, give me an artist statement about this work that I created. I had in mind you put just two words and you put it together, and he'll write you beautiful explanation and artist statement about this artwork. And
Right.
everybody will bite it. It's like this because nobody's actually sitting. Is he talking now about from the inner self, or is he just reading something that AI wrote it? Soon there will be no distinction because we will all use it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We will all use. I will use it. I might be guys who are totally against it will use it, like maniacs probably.
But
Those there's
here's the other thing. Think of it this way. At some point, we're going to have HAL from 2001 Space Odyssey, right? You remember the computer HAL that interacted?
yeah.
So when you say, like, we can talk to Adam, go, Adam, what was your thought behind this? What was your that? Even if somebody who does AI art, if they're going to read a statement, you can tell it's not from the heart. Like Adam's passionate about his art. When we talk about his art, I
exactly,
did this and I thought of that, right? So that's much different. So someone reading a statement, they can go over there. My thing is, in whether it's 5 years, 5 days, whatever, when AI can actually speak to you, and it may speak like Hal, but and you say to it, we'll call it Hal. Hey Hal, how did you create
That's
whatever
coming very
thing?
soon.
And
That's coming
right,
very
and Hal's
soon.
going to be like, oh, I went through the internet and I saw this, or my creator told me to do that, and that's a whole different thing. Now it's like AI is telling me what it created. That's a different world now. And whether that happens tomorrow or in 10 years, then I think everyone's going to have an issue because it's going to be like even the writers in Hollywood, right? Now it's creating and telling you why it did it. Now it's having thought. And I think that's where
Or
we're headed with this.
maybe we need something as primitive as in the Terminator films, where they use dogs to sniff out the robots from the real
Well, we do that
people.
with the lizard people. Yeah. So
You
same
know,
thing.
but I mean,
So,
that's a very flippant remark. But I mean, somebody will come up with something which you will be
right.
able to, to test it to see if it's real or not,
Oh, I
because
think
it's
people
going
are
to
going to
be.
tell you. I think people tell you it's AI generated, it's this generated, it's that
you you
generated.
you know something about AI,
Yeah,
because it's really strange thing, and not even the guys who are producing it. We said it last time. The guys even produce don't know really what it is, and
right,
as the time progresses, it'll be more complicated. The AI, there will be models that are going to follow you and your personality on the internet in general, on our talks, for example, like we speak now. It will
right.
follow you, and it will scan you and scan you and scan you, and this model will become your digital you.
Yep,
So then you will say to it, look, you know who I am, you know my face. It will pop up like I am here talking, and there will be a time not very soon from now that you'll be talking to an AI like me, with my voice, with kind of my, if you know me, with my answers,
right.
like predicted. It will be predict
Predictability.
answers that I would say, things that I would say, mistakes that I would say,
Right.
even this. And you will think that it's me.
Yeah.
And then I will train him, and I will show him all my works that I've done up to now. Say, create something with this style and this style, but with this color and this color. This, I'll be talking to him, and it will be producing like millions in a day. I tell you, we're into this kind of phase, and this this phase, it's really really a turning point. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying about reality, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's happening now. It's the thing that you will be talking to it, and will be talking back the AI. It's very soon. 2 years, 1 year, I don't know. Very soon.
But
My joke
do you
is,
fear that?
and
Do we fear
I
that?
fear. Yeah, I fear that. I fear that because you know something. It's too fast. It's going to make people crazy. You will
oh, they're
see
already
crazy
crazy.
people. You will see.
Yeah.
We will see. We will see
Well,
massive.
I
I
was
don't want to
watching a
say that,
program
but we
last
will see
night
massive things come.
about steam trains, and then I remembered some remark that people originally thought that if you travelled on the steam train, you would travel so fast that all the organs in your body would fly out. So it's a
Well,
bit
that's a
we're a
true
bit in the
statement. Sure.
so we're a little bit. I just wonder. I mean, the genie's out of the bottle. It isn't going anywhere, and
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's such
out.
a
It's
speed.
out, and it's
So
faster than I thought that it would be.
yeah.
It's much faster.
yeah. So what do we do, guys? Do we embrace it, or do we sit at
You
home
Oh,
and
you
but
we
you
cannot
embrace
we
it.
cannot avoid it. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
do
We
we
cannot avoid it.
do
That's
we
what I say. That
stick our
I'm not
heads
very big
between our
fan.
legs and kiss our
No,
asses goodbye? I mean, what do we do here?
no, you just embrace it. It is what it is. You just have to use it to all the scientists that say, "Oh my God, AI this," and the EU wants to have law, and it's like it's too late. To your point, the genie's out of the bottle. However, if you use it responsibly, it's fine. Like we use it for business, we can use it for our show, you can use it to make art. But I'm the first one to tell people we use AI. I mean, I'm not like when we write stuff, we use it. I have no problem disclosing that we use it. If I created a painting that someone said it's a masterpiece, I'd be like, yeah, me and the AI did it. So, in fact, somebody that did over one of the consultants we had on our show that looked at our show wrote us a booklet on how you'd be a good YouTube show and podcaster. And the forward to us was from them and the AI. And at the very end, it said, "We hope you enjoy what we've written for you," and blah, 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 blah. But it was from our consultant and ChatGPT 4. And they put it right there. So I
Yeah,
think you have to
but I
embrace it.
tell you, but it's yeah, embrace it for sure.
Yeah.
Because now we say it or don't say it. Now soon we will don't need to do it
Right.
because everybody will be using it.
I have
In
it
a
on my
way,
phone.
everybody.
I have AI on my phone through WhatsApp or WhatsApp. I
Everybody
can
has
literally,
AI. Since
yeah,
we're
but it's on my,
using
it's
mobile
right. It's
phones,
on my,
they have
no,
AI
no, no. I
anyway.
actually have AI on my phone where I can go, "Hey, write this for me," and it'll write it on my phone
Yeah,
because it's
it's
in WhatsApp.
algorithm. In general, it's
Right,
called algorithm, but AI
right.
it's a very very general term on thing.
Term,
Machine
right.
learning
But then
actually,
there's
but
there's another
we're
AI
using it.
called Hey Pi, HEYPI, which is if you, one of my buddies showed it to me. If you feel bad, it'll make you feel better. It's like an AI that's supposed to be sensitive. So it's becoming a parent, a babysitter, your psychologist, your college professor, or university
Your
professor.
friend,
Yeah, right,
exactly. And many you cannot imagine how many outcomes will come from this. Like for
correct.
example, what can
Yeah.
there might be soon you know, OnlyFans, for example.
Yep, OnlyFans, sure.
Yes, there are girls or boys that are showing off erotic stuff, etc.
Right, right.
Soon there'll be some, I don't know, maybe even children or old
No,
guys
no children.
pretending to.
No
Yeah,
children.
yeah, you don't know. Yeah, children. I mean, when you're 18, you're still a child. So
Right, that's true.
yeah,
So, well,
and
we do have David on OnlyFans. He's naked on a bearskin rug with a fireplace in the
I'm
back,
going to
with a
subscribe then.
little fedora right in his front part, so you don't see that.
Yeah.
So it was a small fedora, by
But
the way. But anyway, so we have
everything
that.
will be really, everything will be put, not everything, okay, but the
Right.
majority of stuff will be there. I tell
Yeah.
you, soon you will be talking with an Adam, says Adam there, and you won't know if it is Adam or not. You'll be asking me, are you Adam or are you AI? And I
Right.
may lie, because I may program my model to lie. When they
But
ask you this question, tell them that you are Adam,
but
because
I
you are
think
Adam.
that would be one of those things where if you're going to have lack of the term, laws, they should be something that you're talking to me, but it's my AI. It has to say somewhere on the bottom, like, oh, this is Steven's AI. This is Adam's AI. This isn't actually the real person. So to the point of all the people that are worried
Yeah.
about it, I'm like, yes, I can see where that should be done. But then someone will show me on TikTok where there's AI generated, whether it's a girl or a boy or whatever, and it's talking, going, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, so we are getting to the point of how, but where it's not doing its own thought yet. And that's where it's going to be more interesting to me, because I want to see what happens then.
When it comes to have its own thoughts.
Own thought. It's got to, at some point, it's got to have its own thought, right? Like GPT-4 and 3.5 and all this other stuff and all these other AI programs. It searches the internet, it puts together whatever its program tells it
Oh,
to.
it'll be something fake. It will be something fake, but you will think that it's not. Your mind
Right.
will believe it that it's not. That's why it's like with the film Hair, that
Right.
this guy had
Yep.
a relationship with the AI. It will happen
Yep.
the same. Your
Yeah.
own psychologist, your own everything.
Yep.
You have your own AI there. You will be
Yeah.
training it, and then
Yeah.
you'll be
But
talking with it.
for some people, that'll be a real advancement.
Yeah.
You'd have somebody to look after your mental health, to look after, maybe to answer medical questions.
Well, yes, but it will produce.
so-
It's what I tell you, that AI, yes, it's going to bring new opportunities. Yes, true,
Yeah.
but it's going to change much more than the new that it
Right.
will bring. It's going
Yeah.
to change. That it's what I say, that I am afraid of people becoming crazy, the society
Right.
becoming crazy.
Well, even
And
more
if-
than they are now, you mean?
Yeah, of course, much more. Much more,
Yeah.
because we still have a touch with reality. I mean, with
Correct.
some kind of objective
Well,
reality.
some people do. Some people do. I
Of
seriously
course, yes.
question that
Some
sometimes.
don't. There are
You
young.
sit and watch the news, and they're just young people just think, what, really?
But
You know? I mean,
you will not be able to see what is real, what is true, what is not.
Right.
It will be just, we will be living in a very complicated and messy world, I think, and this will produce problems because it's too fast. We are evolving in a much slower style, up to now, and now we will have to evolve suddenly very quick, especially mentally, because look, now we will not actually need the majority of the subjects that are taught in the school. We will not need it. What for? What
Right.
for to learn mathematics when you have a device that's going to solve you any kind of complex mathematic problem, almost
Well,
any kind.
there's an article yesterday in the FT called "The Digital Tribalism," and it was saying that, to your point, technology is changing so fast, even the kids today can't keep up
Yes.
with it. And I'm assuming that's part of AI. To go to your point, I think you still need to teach kids social studies and math and history and whatever, because you still need to develop their brains. Because if all you're going to do is develop the brains just to type on a laptop, if you will, to ask AI questions, you're really just going to have a society of idiots. You know what I mean? It's like they never
Yeah,
thought. They
that's why
can't read
it
a book.
needs
They can't do
a
this.
change. That's what we need from the politicians. For
Right.
example,
But
we have
yeah.
in Greece a campaign now, because on Sunday there are elections.
Right.
And I was looking around a little about the parties, what they are saying about this AI and things. And they are not saying anything.
Right.
Nothing. It's like it's not in their mind. Like they don't see it coming.
Well,
I see it.
Romania just put an AI as part of its government cabinet. There was an article on Monday that says
Yeah.
Romania, as a government official, has AI now. Like this, it literally has a post in the
But
Ministry
Stephen,
of
look,
there.
imagine now. I will tell you, and you tell me yes or no if you will look on the future.
Okay.
AI will become dominant in judgment system.
Yes,
It will or not?
I agree with you 100%.
Of course it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There will
Yeah.
be because it will
Right.
take out
Because
any kind
if
of human, bias.
Right.
well, no,
That's what
not
we
so
want in
much that,
judgments
Adam.
in the
I don't think
courts.
so much that it will take out. It will have an ability to instantly look through any judgment that's ever been made by a
Right.
human and make that correct judgment based on
Exactly.
those
That's
facts.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But this is too
But
fast.
is that a bad thing then? Because there's a lot of
It's a bad thing.
judgments that have been very, very badly done or corrupted by people. But at least the AI
Look,
won't corrupt it.
good or bad is depends on many things. For
Well, it
example, you
depends
have
on
a
the
starving
programmer.
person. You have a starving person, and suddenly
Right.
you give in front of him a lot of food, tasty food, but a lot of it. He might die because he will start to eat like crazy because he's starving, but his body is not adjusted because your body is adjusting. It's trying to find the balance, and it's becoming your stomach becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. And suddenly, if you put too much, you die, you explode. I don't know the terminology to
Well,
tell you, I'm not a
that's the
doctor,
truth.
but
It's the
you
same if you
understand my
drink too much
point.
water.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
the same. It's
Yeah.
it's like this. The problem is that complicated stuff, too complicated stuff for us, are coming too fast. And the problem is that we cannot put pause to it. It's going
Right.
to be more and more complicated, faster and faster. That's the problem.
No, or
I'm
maybe
sorry
it's
to
just
say that, but
natural.
that's a fucking problem. It's a
Yeah.
We're
problem.
okay with that.
Maybe it's just natural selection.
But we will extinct like this because we will eat each other. We will go
Ooh, I like
crazy.
that. That's going to be exciting.
Well, given
Yeah.
cannibalism.
Hey, the lizard people are coming. I've been saying it for years. So,
Yeah.
but
This
no,
is what I'm
this is
afraid.
awesome.
This is what I'm
Yeah.
afraid. I, if I would make a prediction,
Right.
I think I will have to make really big changes because it is a big change now in general in society. If I want
Right.
to stay an artist up to the top, to the top, I mean, but for people to buy art like
Right.
this,
Right.
you can have perfect world, nobody might buy it because nobody will see it.
But your art's fantastic, and it's not generated by AI. It's generated from up here, which is your own which is your own intelligence, right? And we see your stuff, and we
Well,
have your stuff, and it's
it
just
helps me a
phenomenal.
lot. It helps me a lot,
Right.
though. It helps me a
Okay.
lot. And it's been always because the technique and stuff, for example, the tools, we're always using tools in art. A
Right.
brush is a tool.
Right.
Even the pigments is a tool.
Right.
So, but our tools, for example, now I'm working on a kind of a technique, let's say, which I like a lot, and you might have seen some of the works now that I'm painting with caustics.
Oh,
Caustics
okay.
is in optics. When you have water, and
Right.
underwater you see those moving,
I
lights
saw
like
it. I
envelopes
saw
of
it on
lights.
Instagram.
This is
Yes.
this is caustics,
Beautiful
and
stuff.
it's really interesting because
Right.
I take it philosophical, and no AI wrote this statement to me what I'm going to say, but you use a model and you put a material which is refractive. It's called
Right.
actually there is a name. It's called refractography.
Okay.
Refractography. The light refracts through the
Right.
medium that it's going through, like the glass, and it produces envelopes of light.
Okay.
Which, if you experiment more and more, like I'm doing now, because I need to have full control over it. And with
Right.
AI, for example, now I don't have it. That's why I cannot use AI right now. This is the reason
Okay.
I don't use AI. If I had total control of it, I will use the AI. But I know you don't have
Right.
yet.
Well,
Right. Yeah.
let's
Yet being the operative
let's hope.
word.
Yeah, let's hope next time you come back on, Adam, you can show us some of that stuff.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah. Next time I
fascinating.
will show, because I will be. There are already some, but not enough. Because I will explain a little things about it, because it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I also don't know what's going to look, because it's the same like in the water. You don't know how the lights. You cannot. You don't have the. But it's like with the AI. You train the model. You train your brain also. With experimentation, to more or less, I will have this kind of result if I put this and this. We always like the happy accident or unhappy, because it's part of the experimentation, and then you choose that. In a way, this is the way that the AI works now. They generate
Yeah.
that it's offering you those stuff, and you choose not this, develop this more, and more and more and more. So in general, generally, it's not big difference. The difference are elsewhere. It's what I said before. The difference is that how the number of artworks you can create. We are losing the balance. That is our problem, actually. And I think in one of our programs we were saying about this, about the balance, how important it is. For me, if I take it from a philosophical point of view, if you ask me what is the meaning of life, I would say that up to now, that probably balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to find the
Well,
balance between the passions that you have, not to become addiction or obsession, because if they become addictions or obsession, then you're losing the game. You need to have the balance. You need to work, but you
I'm
need
afraid I'm going to have to bring some balance into our conversation
you
today.
He's
always
such
do
a
this, and
he's
it's
such a
good.
party. He's such a
It's
joy
good.
kill.
It's
You
good.
know
We
what I
need it.
mean?
Yeah, I know, because there's so much to talk about, and we
Yep.
want you to come back
Yes.
and show us the other stuff. But
Yep.
thank you so
He'll be
much for
back.
being with us, Adam.
In a couple of weeks, he'll be back again.
Yeah. We'll
Don't forget to subscribe. You can still talk. Don't forget to subscribe and like everybody. Adam will be back in 2 weeks, and he will be giving us more cool stuff.
They can make questions about AI, and we can answer in the show.
Comment below.
Yes.
I gotta wait for the big ending that David put up. There. Oh, it's coming. Gotta do the copyright thing.
God help us, production. This is